Reflets d'Afrique Télévision, le Flash Info du Breaking News.
Good morning, dear viewers. You are watching the Flash Info on Reflets d'Afrique Television. Barely 2 months since school reopened in Cameroon, most students are no longer respecting COVID-19 measures despite the government's warning against a second outbreak. During school resumption in early October 2020, almost all measures to curb the spread of the virus were being respected in these schools, with hand wash equipment and 1 meter distancing amongst students are fully enforced. Currently, the country has recorded 25,472 cases with 23,851 recoveries and 445 deaths, according to the last statistics given by the Ministry of Public Health. Still on the COVID page, French President Emmanuel Macron has tested positive for COVID-19 after experiencing symptoms, his office said yesterday, according to a statement from the Elysee Palace. In accordance with current health regulations applicable to all, the President of the Republic will isolate himself for 7 days. He will, however, continue to work and carry out his activities remotely. French Prime Minister Jean Castex will also self-isolate. Macron had a busy week in the days leading up to his positive test. On Wednesday, he met Portugal's Prime Minister Antonio Costa for lunch and attended a cabinet meeting. On Tuesday, the French President Macron met with various people, including the President of the International Committee of the Red Cross, Peter Murray. It is to be noted that France on Wednesday reported 17,615 new cases of the virus and 289 deaths, bringing the country to more than 2.4 million infections and 59,361 deaths since the start of the coronavirus. In Cameroon, the inter-employer group of Cameroon, that GICAM, placed the card of stability during their 129th Ordinary and Elective General Assembly. The members of this employers' organization, GICAM, again plebiscited Celestine Tawamba at the head of their rally. 213 votes against 10 invalid ballots. This is the result out of the polls. Barely re-elected, he clearly displayed his willingness to represent his peers wherever needed. And in Malawi, Malawi has been named the Country of the Year by the Economist newspaper following the Supreme Court's decision to annul its presidential election. The newspaper explains that there is a blueprint for presidents keen to rig election. First, use state resources to bribe, fool and bully people before the poll. Once voting starts, stuff the ballot boxes or fiddle the tallies. Afterwards, make sure the army and judges are on your side in case opponents take their case to the street or the court. That vote was annulled by Malawi's top court over widespread and systematic irregularities, and a rerun election was held on June 23. Allegations of vote rigging sparked protests across the normally peaceful country last year, shortly after results were announced. Most of the demonstrations turned violent. Chakwera 65 comfortably beat Peter Mutharika with 58.5% of the vote, marking the first time in African history that an election rerun led to the defeat of an incumbent. A triumphant Chakwera gave a rousing speech after receiving the sword of command from the Army General Peter Namatanga in the capital, Lilongwe. And still in Nigeria, more states in the north have ordered all schools to close following last week's kidnapping of 100 of pupils in Katsina State. Kano, Kaduna, Zamfara and Jigawa have followed Katsina in closing schools following Friday's attack. The Islamic militant group Boko Haram has said it was behind the raid. More than 300 children are still missing, raising fears for the safety of the other schools, especially those in remote areas. Meanwhile, the Nigerian Union of Teachers have also threatened a nationwide strike unless the government urgently improves the security situation in the country.
Reflets d'Afrique Télévision, Le Flash Info, the breaking news.